can get something, as opposed to, I'm going to do this because that's the standard of who I am. Whether she was here or not, I'm going to not leave all over the kitchen.
Right.
I'm not a kid. Like, you know what I mean? So that mentality. So what we've discovered, and you're a man, so if you disagree with this, I would be shocked. But yeah, we like sex, but what do we want more? We want to be wanted. And yet most guys aren't very wantable.
Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting, and here's the episode. All right, guys, Keith Yackey here. He's going to teach you how to get laid again, right?
That's right.
Bring sex back into marriages.
Let's make sex great again.
Yeah, there's a lot of sexless marriages right now, right?
Yeah, there really is. 85% of guys aren't happy with the quantity or quality of sex within their marriage.
85%?
85%.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's way higher than I thought.
We've given it a syndrome. We call it DDS. We call it dry dick syndrome. So we're just, and my wife and I are here on the planet just helping dudes, you know, actually regain the, we say that because the hook in a man's mind, if he's not having sex, he's like, I got a problem, but he doesn't know how to fix it. And the modern solutions for most men to fix it are do more around the house, buy her gifts, say yes more, be more agreeable. And it's like, not that those actions are wrong, but the attitude for most men is, I'm going to do this so I can get something, as opposed to, I'm going to do this because that's the standard of who I am. Whether she was here or not, I'm going to not leave all over the kitchen.
Right.
I'm not a kid. Like, you know what I mean? So that mentality. So, what we've discovered, and you're a man, so if you disagree with this, I would be shocked. But yeah, we like sex, but what do we want more? We want to be wanted. And yet most guys aren't very wantable.
Wow. We're getting deep already, but yeah, let's dive into that. So when you say wantable, you mean emotionally?
Everything. So women, they connect through conversation. They want to connect emotionally. They want to have a husband that when she talks to him, he's actually like listening the way you and I are listening to each other, and we're present. Right. And yet most guys are like, they'll put in 15 minutes, they'll pretend to listen, hoping that, oh shit, I hope that scored enough brownie points where I can get some action upstairs. Right. Like there's always this, I'll do this if I get action. I'll do this if I get action. And so what we've discovered is that when there is a sexless relationship, or like very little sex, or if it's just, it's like pity sex, or my buddy Garrett calls it vaginal masturbation, where you're just masturbating inside of her, but she's not really there, mentally. Yeah. Well, guys, we hate that because we're like, well, what are we doing here? Yeah. And we want to be wanted. We want her to be a part of it. But what happens is we've discovered is that, dude, women, if they aren't emotionally connected, connection outside the bedroom leads to connection inside the bedroom. And dudes don't get that. Yeah. But yet they can talk to their buddies about a bunch of but when their wife talks to them, they're like, oh, I'm not interested in that. And they're like, dude, the key to her opening her legs is through talking to her in her heart, man. But guys just don't understand. But I come from the world before I got married where I had sex with hundreds of women. So I understood short-term game really, really well. But when Jesse left me 7 years ago, I didn't understand long-term attraction. That's where most guys really
She was your first wife?
Jesse was my second wife, dude.
Second wife?
Yeah, I already went through a divorce, had 3 other kids, and they all live here in Vegas. I did most of my activity in Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah.
No wonder you got hundreds of bodies out here now.
Yeah.
The club scene out here, they're ready to just throw themselves at you.
Yeah, and I never really did the club scene that much.
Really?
I have a very unique way about going about actual game, because we have single guys come through, or guys that come to our program, they're not getting laid. They realize they're not very wantable, meaning they've got dad bods now. Yeah. They can't clean up after themselves. Like the hamper is only 1 foot away, but they can't seem to get the underwear there. So now their wives are like, dude, am I your mom? And moms don't want to have sex with kids. You know what I mean? So it's like, so they put themselves in this very interesting situation of really like hoping to interview that their wife might grant them a little piece of every once in a while. And it demasculates them, it disempowers them, and then they start getting super desperate. And that's like the most least attractive, sexy thing in the world. So it's just this downward spiral.
Right. So did you see that in your previous marriages where the sex just wasn't happening as often?
Yeah. Well, I got married at 18. Wow. And I was under a really tight, born-again Christian frame. And I actually became a pastor of a church.
No way.
Yeah, dude. They call me the pastor of now, but I wasn't actually the pastor of a church long back when. So I married this girl when I was 18, thinking this is what God wants for me. And not that that's a bad idea, but I wasn't attracted to her. You know what I mean?
All right, guys, shout out to today's sponsor, Babbel. 1 in 5 Americans have learn a new language on their bucket list. If that's you, make 2024 the year you finally check it off the list. Don't pay hundreds of dollars for private tutors anymore or waste hours on other apps that don't really help you speak the language. Babbel has quick 10-minute lessons that are handcrafted by over 200 language experts to help you start speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks. It's designed by real people for real conversations. Babbel has really helped me lock in Spanish. My fiance's family is all Latina, and now I'm able to communicate with her family members, and it's awesome. Studies from Yale, Michigan State University, and others continue to prove that Babbel is better. One study found that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a full semester at college. They have over 16 million subscriptions sold, plus all of their 14 award-winning language courses are backed by their 20-day money-back guarantee. Here's a special limited time deal for our listeners. Right now, get up to 60% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/social hour. That's babbel.com/social hour, spelled BABBEL.com/social hour. Rules and restrictions may apply.
She's a lovely
Physically?
lady. Yeah, I wasn't really physically attracted to her.
Okay.
So sex wasn't this big thing. And in a Christian culture, and a lot of people in that religion, they carry a lot of guilt and shame around sexual desires. That's bad, 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 bad. Now you're married. Okay, now it's good, 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 good. So the mental frame is twisted. So when we went through that, I married her as I was a virgin.
Wow.
We actually live right down the street from the hotel where I lost my virginity
No way.
in Dana Point. Yeah, it's
So
pretty
you
funny.
literally were a virgin until 18?
Yeah, man.
That's
I had
insane.
no game whatsoever when I met my first wife.
That's
None.
crazy.
Had 3 kids. They're like 25, 22, and like 29. I don't know. I said, I know you guys are in your 20s. I can't remember all these dates.
Yeah.
I love you, but I can't remember all these dates. And I remember their birthdays. I just don't remember how old they are. And then I realized when I was like 30 years old, I'm like, dude, what was I doing? So I was really strict, born-again Christian from like 18 to about 28. And it taught me a lot about business and a lot about drive and a lot about discipline, but I knew nothing about women. Yeah.
Yeah, Christians don't be pulling like that, right? Especially pastors. Pastors can't even...
Dude, you got a really fun, dry humor, man. This is enjoyable.
Wait, no, pastors can't get laid at all, right? Or is that a
That's
different...
priests. That's the
priests.
Catholics, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And nuns, right? Yeah, priests and nuns. Imagine a life without sex, dude.
Dude, imagine a life in a marriage where you thought, cool, I'm going to get blowjobs, I'm tapped the rest of my life. And after a year being married, you have no action at all. And now you're trapped. No action and trapped. This is kind of why one of our premises is, you know, a lot of single guys, they want to have game because they want to have options of who they can have sex with, right? Which, you know, why would you blame that? But you know who needs game more? Is the married dude. Because a single dude go like, hey, Becky, you want to have sex? She's like, no way, get out of here, creepy. And he goes, well, hey, Darla, you want, and he has all the options in the world. But if you're married, you got one shot on goal. And if she says no and over and over and over and over again, what are you going to do?
Right.
So like, you should have game, which game simply just means you understand. I'm not showing up to a basketball court with soccer cleats. I'm going to play the game the way it is. All right, long-term attraction. What does that mean? How do I do that? How do I stay? One of our mantras is become the most attractive version of you for you.
Right. I love that because this is
yeah.
stuff people don't even realize when they're trying to get laid, the long-term game.
None, dude.
Yeah.
That's why everybody, they go, dude, when we were dating, we were having sex. I go, well, when's the last time you had a really good dating life with your wife? Oh, we don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, shocker. So that's why you're not having sex.
Yeah. I there was periods of because I'm in a 6-year relationship where I wouldn't take her out on dates for years and we weren't, doing it that often.
Yeah.
But now I at least 2 day nights a week.
Oh, cool.
And
man.
it's definitely helped.
Yeah. Do you guys do like fun stuff or what tell me a little bit about your dates?
Yeah. So every weekend we try to do a new activity that we've never done before. So like,
oh, I like this. No.
Yes, we just
Jesse's off camera agreeing with that. She's like, that's a great idea. It is.
It's fun. So we'll do like escape rooms. We've done break rooms. Have you been to one of those?
We've done probably 12 of them in Orange County. We take our kids. We love them.
Yeah, good to de-stress. We'll go to like farms. We'll go to shelters. We'll just do like random stuff.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
And then during the week, do you do something a little more chill or?
Yeah, at least 2 date nights during the week. And we play like Fortnite. We do puzzles together, whatever.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You guys have kids?
Not yet. We have 2 dogs, so kind of, but we want
kind of
kids. Australian Shepherd, Golden Retriever.
Dogs are angels and fur, man.
Changed my life, dude. For real.
Really?
Yeah.
That happened to me 4 years ago, but I wanted to hear your story. How did a dog change your life?
I had bad anxiety, and getting a dog really helped, honestly.
Are they here?
No, they're at the house.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, but no, for real, like just something to look forward to and think about when you're not home.
How crazy it is if when you walk out of the house to go get something in the garage, you come back and your dogs like freak out to see you again.
Yeah, pure love.
Oh, it's almost like, dude, this wasn't a long trip. You're back. I'm so excited. Like, I'm like, yeah, my dog, when the butts wiggle like crazy, you just go.
Australian Shepherd does that.
Like, that's true love, dude.
Yeah.
And then she knows when we're leaving. So when we were packing up and putting everything up, she was like sitting on the couch like, you just got back from Orlando 3 days ago. Where are you going?
They get so upset.
Dude, and jealous. Like her and I hold hands on the couch.
Yeah.
She's a 10-pound. She's the best dog ever, other than your two, of course. She'll come in and we'll be holding hands and she'll start licking at my hand like, what are you doing touching her?
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
There's a couple of clips on your Instagram I want to dive into.
Okay, yeah.
So one of them you said women prioritize their children more than the man usually.
Yeah. And I'm 100% right because the statistic on that is we've 100% of the time never seen a mom divorce her kids. But she has divorced the dad.
Right.
So
that's a good way of looking at it, actually.
That's why I'm so dogmatic about it. Because, like, well, that's the facts.
Yeah, 50% divorce rate these days.
Yeah.
Crazy. You're flipping a coin.
Yeah.
I mean, that is so high. My dad went through 2.
Yeah. Nobody would jump on a plane with a 50% success rate.
Yeah.
But everybody's excited to rush into marriage.
Yeah. I think it's societal pressure.
Everything is societal pressure.
Yeah, just trying to fit in, right? Oh, you're 35 and you're not married, you're a loser. Like,
yeah. Oh, other than he built a company that he set up for the rest of his life and now he can actually spend time with his wife. That guy must be the smart guy.
Yeah.
Like everything is backwards in our society, man. It's so weird. All the masses are doing this and yet guys like you and me are like, nah, we're not going to do that. We're going to do our own thing. And like, well, how are you doing it? We're just not doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I stopped trying to fit in probably after college. I think school really tries to force you to want to fit in.
Yeah.
But you got to get out of that mindset. Those kids don't give about you.
It's brain cancer, man.
Yeah, it's toxic. Just do your own thing, man.
Yeah.
Like when people are so normal, it's like a red flag to me. You know what I mean? When I'm talking to someone and they're trying to like be someone they're not, I could see straight through it.
Dude, that is so true.
Like just be yourself, man.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
27? Okay, so college was like about 5 years ago.
Yeah, I only made it 1 year, but yeah.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. 4 years of that, I don't think I would have been the same person with all that brainwashing going on.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Did you make it all the way?
I never went to college.
Oh, you never went?
No, man. I got out of high school as fast as I could. A week before I graduated high school, I proposed to my then wife, or my fiance at the time. We got married. I grew up in Southern California, surfing, skating, doing that whole thing, and I moved to Montana to start a church with her.
Wow. What a change.
Yeah, so I just went up to the snow, and my dad always told me, whatever you do, don't go to a place where it snows more than 6 months a year, and don't do manual labor.
Yeah.
And dude, about 6 months into there, I was in a snowstorm doing manual labor in Montana going, I didn't do a damn thing my dad told me to do, and I'm kind of having the time of my life.
Reverse manifestation. Interesting.
There you go.
Do you still go to church right now, or you left that life completely
No,
behind?
I left that. Like, I read about Jesus. I think Jesus is a bad
Okay.
As a man. Is he God's son? I don't know how I would know. I think it's the coolest story ever, though.
Religion fascinates me, and I've had on a ton of people that are against it. But when you look at the money flow of it, that's the part that gets me.
Yeah.
Because I'll call it the Mormon church in specific. So they bring in $7 billion per year.
Yeah.
Their expenses are only $1 billion. So they're pocketing $6 billion a year.
Yeah.
And they're putting it all into real estate and paying off the top people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty up, dude.
It's, we know on our podcast, we just recently talked about what I think about Joel Osteen and pastors and all this stuff. I'm a truly deep down huge fan of Jesus, a huge fan of his work. I cannot stand the church. I cannot stand pastors. I wish them well, but to me, they're just the fakest people on planet Earth.
Joel's got to be bringing in tens of millions with that church, right?
Oh, yeah, dude. But they use the tactic of if you sow the seed, they use a crazy Bible. If you sow your seed, God's going to bless you 6-fold, 90-fold, 10-fold, whatever. And he's, okay, cool. But sow it to me. You're like, how is that not the most obvious scam on planet Earth? But I believe people want to connect with the Creator so bad that they're willing to believe that.
Yeah, they're playing on people's emotions, making them donate 10% of their income. Exactly. And that times 1,000 people is tens of millions of dollars.
Exactly, dude.
And you multiply that by all the churches in the country, it's pretty crazy. Billions of dollars.
dude, Jesus went into the temple, according to the Bible. I mean, if it's right, but it's a story. And he starts turning over the tables with a whip. You know this story?
No.
Okay, Jesus, he's this Jewish dude, and they were under Roman law, but the Jews are they're such dogmatic about their religion then and now that they had a ruling Jewish tribal thing, like 70 guys. They called it the Sanhedrin. And they were basically like the law in Israel, and they would just pay off the Romans and say, hey, we'll handle our own shit. So all the Jews, like 3 times a year, would come up to the temple to make offerings. And so let's just say, Jewish Joseph down the street brings his family, and he's got his little lamb for his sacrifice. And in the temple, they'd be like, no, this isn't going to work. You're going to need to buy our lamb. And they charge like 5 times as much. And so these guys are making bank off of this religious feeling. Jesus comes in there with his boys, with a whip of cords, starts turning over their tables, letting their animals loose, and throwing their money all around. I don't know about you, dude, but that's a cool story. And whoever's doing that and like every other chapter you read of Jesus, they're like, oh, and the mob got so mad they wanted to kill him, and he slipped away. You don't read about those guys nowadays.
Yeah.
So I just think this is a dude that went to his dying breath believing and basically telling, quit ripping people off. That's not a hard guy to get behind.
I could get behind that, yeah. Jesus was a real one.
Yeah. Cheers to Jesus, dude.
See if we meet him one day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people say they have. So
Yeah, they do. The only time I really met God was on mushrooms and Joshua Tree, looking up at the stars. I
could see that.
I looking up and I was like, oh, that's what all these books are talking about? The guy who built this? Biggest trip was, I'm like, dude, we are on a spaceship heading through space with no windshield. That's a mushroom thought for you.
Wow.
We're on a spaceship with no windshield.
So you were not a flat earth believer?
I guess not. Well, hey, I didn't say the ship was round. I'm just saying it has no windshield.
Yeah.
Whether it's flat or round,
I love mushrooms, dude.
They're the best.
They're my favorite.
Do you do cannabis much?
I used to.
Oh, yeah.
Now I don't. Do you?
THC sativa makes me up, makes me alive, it's the opposite of what happens for most people.
Oh, the sativa?
Yeah,
that's the head high
upper
one, right?
Yeah. Saturn, sativa, indica couch.
Yeah. I get anxiety on it, to be honest. I don't know why. I used to be able to smoke it carefree.
Really?
Yeah, like all day.
I think it's beautiful. Mushrooms, cannabis. I think you get in touch with something that, I mean, dude, we're waterproof. What the we recharge with no cord. That's pretty incredible.
It is pretty.
I skinned up my knuckles. We did a little fight camp thing in Orlando to go watch our buddy, and we did jujitsu for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And these things were like 3 times that size just 3 or 4 days ago.
Holy crap.
But yours does the same thing.
Yeah, your body heals, right?
What the dude?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
We're an elite species.
We are, dude. Apex predators.
Yeah, we're aliens in my eyes.
Yeah, I'm sure the hippopotamuses are looking, what the fuck are those guys doing?
I mean, every other animal has like a herd mentality, but we're just doing our own thing.
That's a good point.
You still do mushrooms or?
Yeah, dude.
Damn.
Yeah, dude. I want to be in touch. I did gummies this morning.
No way.
Yes. I call them my supplements.
Yeah.
I want to be as elite and tuned in as I possibly can as a human being, Keith. Like, we're not promised tomorrow, and whoever I meet today, I have one guiding passion in life. Yes, I like helping guys get sex because it's amazing, and I truly want to see families connected. Because when you go through a divorce and you see 3 kids split up of a family, that has an effect on you. You go, I don't want to do that again.
Right.
I did that to them, and that's not good leadership. But I was like, I have one goal. I want to leave the people that I want people to feel better about themselves after having met me. To me, that's leadership. So today, I've met some really incredible people. I'm around incredible people, and I want them all to feel better about themselves. And usually that means telling someone the truth so they can actually get out of space cadet land and deal with the reality.
I love that. Yeah, I think the truth is important. Some people take it like personal, but you're trying to help people, and some of them just take it the wrong way, I think.
We've become a really sensitive society.
Very.
And it's like, what is your problem, bro? You're balding and you're thinning hair. Just shave your head. You're not going to offend us. Just do it.
Yeah.
So
you think you could pull off the bald look?
Dude, I just shaved my head recently. That's why I got. I just shaved it. But she's like, "Can you grow it back?" I'm like, "I'll grow it back for a little bit." I had it shaved, not like big, but like down to like 1 or 2 as a buzz, just because I'm like, it. I grew up skateboarding, playing football. We always buzzed our head.
Yeah, I've thought about getting a buzz cut just to see how it would look.
Just do it.
Yeah.
You know what's cool about your head, even though I'm not like a head specialist. You're not round, and Jesse will tell you you're more oblong.
Yeah.
So it'll make it look better.
Yeah, I'm ovalish.
Yeah, I'm a little more round.
Interesting.
But I make up with it with a good personality.
Yeah. Personality is important, man.
Dude, it's how we connect as humans.
Yeah, it's slept on. As men, we don't really focus on it as much, right?
Yeah. It's game, dude.
It's game. So there's this belief that you could be friends with your ex partner, right?
Okay.
On social media. Are you a believer in that?
Yeah. Sure.
Because some people get jealous, like your current partner.
If my new partner was like, hey, would you not talk to her? Well, if it was the mother of my kids, which she never asked me not to talk to the mother of my kids. But I think it all has to do with intent. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people don't have a lot of sexual discipline, so therefore they don't have a lot of sexual reward.
Yeah, I can see that.
A lot of people don't have financial discipline. They don't have financial reward. A lot of people don't have physical discipline, so they don't have physical reward. So it's the same thing. Like I think people, like, I always say this, like your ball sack isn't empty on accident and your bank account isn't full on accident. You have to invest time and understand how things work. So guys will be like, dude, you know, my family is my most important thing. I go, cool. How much have you invested in becoming a great dad, a great leader, a great husband, a great this? Oh, none of that. Well, you think it's going to happen naturally? You idiot. So that's how I think. I'm just like, well, I'm really into jujitsu right now, like obsessed. And every time I go, I get better because I learned something new that I go, why am I stuck? How did he just tap me? How did that guy just choke me in like 4 seconds? Oh, because you didn't know this move. And then he'll go, let me show you how I did it. And you go, oh, thank you. I'll keep my elbow tight next time. And then you grow. Well, that's because I invested time to learn. Being great with women is a skill. This lady right there hated me so much that she said when she left me, she goes, you come home, you run your business, you come home and talk about your business, and you fall asleep on the couch. My life would be better without you in it. That was her basically parting words.
Wow.
I was like, oh, you know me better than anybody. And if you're making that statement about me, that's probably true. I'm going to have to sit with that one. And then that's when I came up with the realization, I'm the problem, which means I'm the solution. She's only mirroring me. If she doesn't want to have sex with me, why? Well, I went from 185 pounds of tiger meat wrapped in barbed wire, kind of like I am now, to 245 pounds looking as pregnant as she is when we had our baby. So like, well, she didn't sign up for that. Right. You know what I mean? Like you didn't tell her Tubalard was coming into town. That's not who she fucking wanted. So like a lot of guys bait and switch like crazy. And they're like, well, I provide, I protect. Shouldn't I just get It's like, it's not how it works. That's not how it works.
Wow. So she actually divorced you?
Yeah, done, gone. Left, was gone for like 6 months, done,
And
gone.
were you texting her every day?
At the first week or two, I did everything wrong. And it was pathetic. How pathetic? 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10.
What'd you do?
I wrote songs.
Wow.
I did covers of songs. I did PowerPoint presentations. I'd call up crying. I did everything you do not want to do to try and get her back, and all I did was push her farther away.
Damn.
And that's where I came to I hired 3 coaches right away. I was like, I got to figure this out. Because, dude, you're so heartbroken, man. I was doing 6-hour workouts on a Monday. I did like 3 chest workouts, swimming, sauna.
Crap.
Because I did, what do? I'm so sad. I'm just going to the gym just to try and get my mind off of the fact that I've had sex with hundreds of women before I met her. And I can't keep the one I really wanted. And I knew I up. So what happened is that's when I realized, wait a second, I'm listening to these coaches. I knew short-term game really well before. So I'm like, okay, you know what, dude? Not only are you the problem, you're the solution, but the only way to get your ex back is you've got to move on. And the only way to move on is you got to move on. So growing up playing football and sports, I was like, that's a 1-page playbook. Okay, I'm just going to do that. No matter what I feel, I'm going to just do that. And so I had to move on, and I had to realize the way a woman is attracted to a man is because she goes, he's doing that because that's who he is. It's not a put on. So I'm not in shape so my wife will like me. I'm in shape because that's my standard. I'm not good at business so that Jesse will be like, oh, that's so cool. That's my standard. I'm a steward. I've been gifted a stewardship that I have to keep and work and grow regardless if she stays with me or not. So these are like these mentalities. One of our mantras is her her response does not dictate my standard.
Interesting. And that's a common way of thinking, like, oh, let me get in shape so my ex can see and maybe be physically attracted to me again, right?
Yeah, and you're still seeking their approval.
Right.
And that's what we call the mom matrix. Like you're a little kid saying, Mommy, can I have a cookie or a treat? And dude, moms don't want to have sex with kids either.
Right. So how'd you pull it off 6 months later after the breakup?
I went all in on me and became a better parent. So I lived here in Vegas and they moved back to California, but I would still have my daughter out every other weekend. I would FaceTime, I would call, I'd make sure I was really focused because I realized I was a parent. That's where I came up with the 5-dial system. Do we want to talk about that or no?
Yeah, let's dive into that.
Okay, so the 5-dial system that every woman is judging their man on is how good of a parent is he? How good of a partner, quote unquote, best friend is he? Like, does she feel connected to you? How good of a producer is he? Meaning they don't want to live in cloth seats, Corollas, and one-bedroom apartments forever.
Yeah.
How good of a player is he? Meaning, is he playful? Does he have fun anymore? I always quote the great American poet, Cyndi Lauper. Girls just want to have fun.
Yeah, that's a great song, man.
If you figure out fun, we call fun as the fountainhead. If you figure out fun, everything else flows from it. And then the 5th dial is standing in your power and not just saying, yes, dear. Like a lot of guys, especially businessmen, I work with almost exclusively business dudes, but they're the boss at the office and then they come home. It's almost like they check in. They're like, what do I do now? And she's like, dude, where's the man that I fell in love with? So all these 5 dials are the attractive dials. And once we dial those up, we call that guy a provocateur. A provocateur is simple, a man who provokes his wife to lust after him.
I love that.
It's like, it's not a secret why we have a lot of sex. It's we both are sexy to each other and to the world.
Yeah. So being there more for your kids, that made her be attracted to you again,
That
basically?
was that. Secondly, there's some psychology involved and some strategy. The number one rule of psychology is everybody wants what they can't have, right?
Right.
So when you move on and you realize, hey, I don't need anything from you anymore. I'll be an amazing co-parent with you and I'll do anything I can to be a great human being in your life, but I'm going to go do my thing. Well, dude, I got right back into physical shape the way she met me. I was better parent again. I was always kind of good at the producer dial. I mean, not always, but like I've been making a lot of money for a decade or more. And then my playfulness, dude, I stopped taking her on dates. Bro, we used to, that's the best dancer you ever met.
Yeah?
Like, this gal can dance like crazy. So we'd go dancing and then we stopped. I stopped going dancing with her. I stopped taking her out. I stopped having fun. I stopped dating her. So my playfulness, my player dial, her mom would come bring her grandma, her mom, my daughter's grandma would bring her up to Vegas, and I would get a babysitter for our daughter, and then I would take the mom out to like a comedy show. Just go have fun.
Yeah.
And then standing in your power means I don't do my personal development so that she will give me a pat on the back. I do my personal development because that's me. I don't, most guys, when they're afraid to initiate sex because they've been rejected for so long. And so it's like, well, are you afraid to ask for sex? And if you get rejected, do you act like a pouty little These are like questions we ask. And that's most guys. When they get rejected, they act pouty, they get passive aggressive.
For sure.
Well, maybe if I got more sex around here, maybe I'd hang up that painting on the wall that I already promised you I'd hang up that I didn't do. You know what I mean? But standing in your power means you do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it without fault. Well, dude, this lady asked me, she goes, hey, we moved into a new place. And she goes, hey, this was, God, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And she goes, hey, can you hang the painting on the wall? We're moved in. I go, yeah, no problem. Like 3 weeks later, hey, I don't want to be a nag, but can you? Yeah, I'll get to it. Yeah, I'll get to it. A month or two later, she's like, dude, I don't want to be a nag, but you said you'd hang that. I'm like, you know what? You're right. It took me 30 minutes to do everything she asked me to do. But what happened? The resent goes up because she goes, he doesn't do what he says he's going to do. And what happens is now her trust in me goes down. And when the trust goes down, the lust goes down.
Wow. This is all so relatable, man. I'm glad I'm talking to you because that example you just said has happened to me.
Yeah.
And I'm sure many guys too.
We've all done it, man. But here's the crazy thing. We all feel entitled to sex because we provide, we produce, and we protect.
Yeah.
Like we're doing those things. Yeah, but it's like, dude, that's one part of it. What about the lover that she had that she could talk to about anything, and you guys used to sit in the car on certain nights and the windows would fog up just because you're talking, listening to your favorite music. Right. You guys ever done that?
Yeah.
Everyone you're dating, you just listen to music. Oh my God, hold on, don't love the guy. I love this song. And then we're going, oh my God, I love this song. Well, when you stop doing that, she's like, where did my best friend go? My wife felt so lonely in our marriage that she goes, I'm more lonely than if I was single.
Wow.
I was such a piece of with our child for the first 2 years. When she left, she said, I don't even want to have another kid with you.
Damn.
Like,
You weren't there?
I was such a dodo bird in this, man. Like, just lost. And yet but I was still like, the week before, my friend's like, hey, how's your marriage? I'm like, oh, I think we're doing great.
We don't ever want to admit it as guys, right?
But I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be guys listening to this that are like, he's talking about this a way I've never heard anybody talk about it. But it's only because I'm just telling my own stupid stories that most guys relate to. They're like, yeah, I do feel entitled for sex. And I do get pouty and passive aggressive when I get denied. And you know what? I don't want to ask anymore because I've been rejected forever. But I don't know what to do except go jerk off in porn. And then they do that, and then they feel guilty, and then their God's mad at them, and then, dude, it's just a clusterfuck.
That's a vicious cycle, yeah.
Very.
I had a cup.
What?
I had a cup in my life.
Yeah.
It's just a vicious cycle. You feel like after. Even if you're not religious, just like a bad feeling, you know?
Yeah, dude. It's you eat candy for too long, you're like, this is not good for me.
Yeah.
I need a good home-cooked meal.
How many times per week are you advocating for people to have sex?
As much as they want.
Wow.
Yeah, so like we have sex probably 3 times a week.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't, but last week I think we did it 4 or 5 times. So it's just kind of the season. People with young kids are probably not going to get in as much as possible. We call kids cock blocks because that's what that's initially what they are.
Yeah.
But that's okay because that's a part of it, you know. Having kids nowadays and having kids in the past are very different. You know, back in the past, we wanted more warriors and more farmers.
Yeah, my grandparents had like 10 brothers and sisters.
Somebody's got to work the farm. Someone's got to fucking go kill the tribe on the other hill that wants to kill our ladies, right?
Yeah.
But nowadays, it's just like, these are just pendants everywhere, you know? So it's a different cycle. So I just, whatever they want, but what we teach guys is to ask for what they want. But know that you're the dude that can deserve it. Have undeniable proof that you're a good parent. You're a good partner. This partner one's really interesting. We call it the best friend dial. But the same, you know that Sting, have you ever been rejected asking for sex?
Asking for sex? Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've been rejected a ton. Having had sex with hundreds of women, which means I got rejected by hundreds more. And Jessie doesn't always want to have sex with me every time I ask. Every time I'm horny doesn't mean she's ready. And that sting of rejection feels horrible for a human being. That same feeling is exactly what a woman feels when she feels neglected. So now she's in a relationship with a dude that doesn't even talk to her, doesn't even know how to connect with her, or the only thing he wants to do is everything he wants to do, and he wants her to come along. It's the same feeling. So I realized that a lot of times men have neglected. The reason Jessie, because when we were talking to people in the waiting room, they're like, why'd she leave? Did you cheat on her? Did you beat on her? I go, no, I didn't cheat on her, beat on her. I neglected her. She was lonely.
Right.
We moved into the day she told me she's leaving is we were moving into our dream house over here.
Wow, the day you were moving in?
She goes, I'm going to help you move in, but I'm not staying.
Holy crap.
Yeah, my world came crashing down around
That's
me.
crazy because you're expecting a new house, new lifestyle, and she's not there. So you're in that house, even though it's big, you're there alone.
Empty.
Crazy. Shaq was just talking about this. He had like a 10,000 square foot house, but no kids were there, no wife. He was lonely, man.
Dude, guys don't like being lonely. I know guys are trying to be tough. I'm tough and whatever. It's like, no, dude, listen, every heart, the honey for the man's heart is a woman who loves him.
I thrive with a good woman by my side, man.
Right?
Because I was lonely for years. But that woman to come home to after a long day work or whatever, it's huge.
Dude, she cooks most of my meals. Or at least heats them up. The chef will make them beforehand, but she'll heat them up. But before, when she used to make a lot of my food, she'll like make it and she'll stare and like wait for my first bite. And if I'm not moaning, she'll be like, you don't like it? I'm like, no, I love it. It's amazing. Yeah. But like a woman who cares for a guy like that, it makes us as men feel so good.
Yeah, purpose.
So, yeah.
For sure.
It's like, wow, she wants me.
No, for real, man. Yeah, my opinions have changed because growing up, I didn't even want kids in my early 20s. But now I really want a family.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah.
Are you guys trying or are you?
So we're getting married next year and then see what happens, dude.
Congrats, man.
Yeah. Anything you want to close off with or promote?
Listen, most men are really struggling with this. And the answers out there about doing all this other I call them pseudo solutions, but yet everybody still talks about like, you got to go do more. You got to go do this. It's like, no, you have to become the guy that she married. She already is your type. You already her type. She married you at one point. She used to be into you. And most every story was, we used to like rabbits, or we used to have good sex. Now it's gone. Means it's still there. You can get it back. But here's what has to happen. To get your ex back or to get the sex back, you've got to get your ball sack and your backbone back. You've got to become that man that she fell in love with again and be better. So where she goes, I'm so honored to be with this guy. So if a guy, is this the camera?
Yeah.
If you're out there watching this and listening to this and you're like, hey man, I'm exactly the dude you're talking about. It's very, very simple. Head to marriedgame.com and there's a video there where I go in depth about the dials and how you've messed it up and how easy it is for you to fix it if you simply just follow these step-by-step things, get your power back. So that's
Love it. We'll link below. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks for watching, guys. As always, see you next time.